Hello everyone. Today I am here to talk about The Captain's Dog, My Journey with the Lewis and Clark Tribe by Roland Smith. Now this is basically about Lewis and Clark's adventure across America, except told from the point of view of Lewis's Newfoundland dog, whose name is Seaman. And which is a weird name for a dog. I just want to put that out there, okay? I think Seaman is a really strange name for a dog. But whatever, that was his name. Seaman was an actual historical dog, I guess would be the term, who did go on Meriwether Lewis and William Clark's expedition to find the passage to the Pacific Ocean from the east of America. I thought the book was honestly okay. The reason I got it is because I read it when I was a child and I 100% remember reading it. I 100% remember this cover because this is the exact cover of the book that I read when I was a child. And I saw it at one of the library book sales where it's a bag of books for $5 and I already had some books in my bag and I was like, hey, I still got room for more. So I put this one in there because, nostalgia, whatever. Definitely liked it more as a child. As an adult, the book is so fast-paced and it's so, I want to say jumpy. Like, you just don't get from this book how long it took Lewis and Clark to get across the American continent, nor, in my opinion, how dangerous it was. Also, I don't know how to say her name properly, so forgive me, Sacagawea, or how white people say it, Sacagawea, most of the time. Don't know what is correct, but, and forgive me for that, but she's mentioned in the book, but not really as helping, which I found disappointing, to be honest, because in 5th grade, I did a whole report on her. We had a wax museum, and it was my job, or not my job. You get to choose which historical character you want it to be, and mine was Sacagawea. And I really enjoyed learning about her and how she helped guide Lewis and Clark across the American continent. But this book just kind of was like, yeah, she was there, and she talked to the Shoshone tribe, and whatever. I really wanted there to be, like, more interactions with the Native Americans. And, I mean, there were a lot in the book, but just showing how interesting of a people they were, I would say. It was just kind of like Lewis and Clark would come up and they would lay out their goods, which were like beads, and I'm like, what are they supposed to do with those? Like, that's not going to help them survive in, what is now established land, but in that time was like the middle of nowhere, right? No established, like, big buildings, big cities, whatever. So I'm like, beads and this crap that the white men were always trading are doing absolutely nothing, and it just annoyed the crap out of me. I think if you have a kid, I think this is definitely a great beginner's novel to the Lewis and Clark expedition, especially since it's told from the view of a dog, which is always cute and fun. And there were still things I liked about it, learning about how long it took them to get across, because I read the dates, but it still just doesn't seem to comprehend in the book how long it took them, and the different Native American tribes they interacted with, even though they didn't talk about them a lot. And I would have just liked more information, to be honest, but I get it. It's a kid's book. A good introduction to the Lewis and Clark journey. A fun, quick read. I will tell you what bothered me the most, and I guess this is spoiling it, but because Seaman is an actual historical figure, you can just go look this up online. In the book, he ends up staying with a Native American tribe after a group of Blackfeet Native Americans attack the Lewis and Clark expedition, and they kind of all scatter everywhere, and Seaman gets injured and he ends up living with a Native American tribe, which is kind of whatever, but also that is not true. So, I don't mind in the grand scheme of things, but I'm like, why did you change the ending when he returned with Captain Lewis to St. Louis and lived with him until he died? So that just, I don't know, that just really bothered me for some reason. There was no point in doing that, in my opinion. And once again, if you read this book and then you go read what actually happened to him, I'm like, why did the author choose to do that? I have no idea. So And I get it, it's a historical fiction book. You can change some things, but like that really stuck out to me as like, why? And now I would really like to read like an actual, like very well researched historical book about the Lewis and Clark expedition that maybe gives me more depth, more about their interaction with Native Americans and everything like that. So like I said, it's a really good introduction to get you interested in it. And as a kid, I definitely enjoyed it. So if you have little kids that maybe want an adventure book, who really love animals, I do actually suggest The Captain's Dog, because it, it's from a dog's point of view, and it is an adventure book, and it teaches you the broad, very, very broad history of the Lewis and Clark expedition. So that is The Captain's Dog by Roland Smith. Ooh, I think my question today is going to be, what is your favorite book that has a dog as the main character? Which is hard, because a lot of them I don't read, because I know the dog is going to probably die at the end. So that's hard. I can't remember. Did I do a review of Stone Fox? Because that one was really good. But spoiler, in case you guys don't want to read books where dogs die, a dog dies at the end of Stone Fox. And I don't remember the author's name, so pardon me. So I'd say one where the dog doesn't die, which might be a spoiler. I really enjoyed White Fang as a child. Haven't read it in years. And by years, I mean like, hang on, I have to calculate how old I am, which is scary. It would be like at least 13 years. No, even more. 15 years. It would be at least 15 years since I've read White Fang. At least. Maybe even more. I feel like the last time I read it, I was maybe in 8th grade, so do the math, you'll figure out how pathetically old I am. But I just really enjoyed White Fang's story. It was very, very gritty and raw and like mean and realistic at some parts, so just be aware it's not like this happy little dog story. There is animal abuse throughout the novel, and that is a very real thing, so it sucks, but I really enjoyed White Fang. Whether or not I would as an adult, I should probably reread it. I mean, it's probably always in print, always at the library. So maybe I should go check it out, and maybe I'll read that soon, but probably not, because I just added some more books to my to-be-read list, and I now have like 60 books on there. So, and it's just ever expanding, so I'm probably not going to get to White Fang anytime soon. But yes, that was The Captain's Dog with Roland Smith. Maybe if you're a kid, suggest it. As an adult, very eh. So thank you so much for listening. Please like down below, or like, subscribe, comment down below. What is your favorite book and or movie featuring a dog? And if the dog dies, please tell me so I won't waste my time reading it or watching it and crying my eyes out and being upset that for some reason people like to kill dogs. WTF, okay? What the heck? Let's just write happy books where the dogs live, and it's going to be called that, the happy book where dogs live, okay? Okay. So, yes, once again, like, subscribe, share. I try to post every Friday, but it just depends on when I have time to read. And thank you so much for listening and watching, and y'all have a great day.